Hello, I'm Nicole Belanda. I'm the Customer Advocacy Program Manager at Rockwell Automation, and we're here to talk about results achieved. Can you tell us a little bit about Teddie Peanut Butter?
Teddie Peanut Butter is about to celebrate its 100th year of existing. So we were founded in 1925 by my immigrant grandfather, Armenian immigrant, and that was in 1925. And we've been here in Boston since then, making various packaged nuts products and peanut butter.
What challenge were you facing when you first came to Rockwell Automation? It was growth related, right?
We have a lot of ambition for growth. We're the #1 all-natural peanut butter in New England. We had a situation where a lot of our systems and infrastructure, technology infrastructure, just wasn't positioned for us to achieve our growth objectives.
Got it. And something I love about your story is you really took a strong focus on change management as well as technology that you were putting in place. Can you talk a little bit about what was behind that approach?
Sure. You can imagine a 100-year-old company with generations of families that work there, and even at this day, we have parents and children and cousins and uncles all working, having been there for generations. So moving to new technologies, new platforms, new ways of doing things in general presents obvious challenges. For a small, medium-sized business, you would think that communication, cross-functional communication would not be a challenge, but even in a smaller company, functionally oriented silos are as present as even the biggest company on the planet. So we had that, and just the concern about adoption of new ways of doing things, not just new methods and procedures and processes, but the technology itself. We went with the Rockwell Plex MES solution. It essentially runs the entire company. Finance, accounting, customer service, sales, marketing, all of our operations, logistics, quality management, literally every function of the company is now on Plex in the cloud.
It sounds like a big change. Can you talk about what it looked like before versus what it looks like now?
Sure. Before, it was a bespoke system built on a platform, custom programmed, that's not even supported. It hasn't been supported for almost 2 decades. It was an on-premise solution and serving us very, very well, but not in a way that would allow us to achieve our growth objectives. Other things that we were looking for at the time included just greater visibility to all aspects of the business, very real-time performance data, what's being made, what's not being made, quality management, our shipping, financials, everything to have more real-time visibility to those data. We went from essentially an entirely paper-based environment for quality management, production control, to an entirely paperless environment. And this was one of the change management challenges that we worried about. How would line operators and workers, in the plant who were used to clipboards and checking boxes and writing in numbers transition to barcodes and scanners and workstations at each of the lines, smart scanners on each of the fork trucks, and to be able to adopt that and operate in the new environment seamlessly. We had set up sort of a dummy plant in part of the company. So we had people literally scanning barcodes that were on the walls. It got people used to the idea of having to scan things and be tracking material very real time. And this was one of the big changes, was that every time you move something, it has to be accounted for. And so now when we do our year-end inventory, it goes in a fraction of the time that it used to take. And remarkably, or maybe not so remarkably, everything's accounted for. Well, as they say, what gets measured gets done. and we were able to now measure real productivity and line effectiveness, make-to-plan performance, downtime, unplanned downtime analysis, all at your fingertips. I mean, literally by the hour, by the half day, by the week, by the month, we can do that assessment of how are we doing from a engineering reliability perspective. So by being able to measure and track, we now can really show what's important in terms of performance for the company at an operational level, at a finance and accounting level, and from a quality management perspective as well.
What sort of advice would you have for other smaller companies out there who are ready to take this leap from doing everything paper-based to moving into the cloud?
That's a great question. I would just start by saying it's not nearly as challenging as you might think it is at the outset. I would say prepare, and involve everybody. Everybody should appreciate what the environment will look like. So once those concepts are understood, with a mindset towards change and preparedness, implementation should go very smoothly.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about your story. I'm very happy for Teddie Peanut Butter. You guys have done a wonderful job of getting this system in place and starting to see some benefits from it. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.